Hi, welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you've viewed a couple of my other videos. I've been away for a while. I've had a very difficult year last year, several operations, ended up with a gallbladder removed, and then I had back surgery on 2 prolapse discs, then I got sepsis, then I was on antibiotics for 3 months, and yeah, it's been tricky, but I'm back. Anyway, I hope to have lots more content for you this year on the channel. I started out reviewing the Lanshan 2 Pro, which I haven't been able to actually get out in due to the issues I had last year, but that should all change this year. But today, I want to talk to you about the bike for my bike packing. I've got a Sonder Camino Titanium. I've made the bike up from scratch, bought the frame, and I'm going to talk you through the various bits that I've got on the bike. So let's get to it. Here's the bike. As you can see, it's Sonder Camino, as I said. It's the titanium version. I've also got the titanium seat post. I set it up as 1x, so I've got the SRAM Eagle group set on there. Got a 32 chainring. I like to ride the oval chainrings. And I've got the 1050 cassette on the back, and as you can see, I was lucky enough to get wireless group set middle of last year, which was a nice upgrade for me. So let's start at the top. So the handlebars are the new Surly corner bars. I have only ridden this 4 times out on the road, nothing longer than 30 miles at the moment. But I have to say, I am super impressed. Love the bars. The only thing I would say is, out of choice, I would probably have the slightly narrower ones. These are the 50 centimeter ones. I've got some nice foam on there, and then I've taped the top bit. As you can see there, I've got my wireless controller there, and I've just got some old mountain bike brake levers, cable brake levers, which go to some cable operated spires that I have down there. Main reason for those over hydraulics was the cost and the fact that I can repair those if I need to. Sticking to the top for the time being, I've got a very nice loud lion bell on there, which I've had for donkey's years. Got the Redshift suspension stem, which I find really comfortable. You can mess around with the elastomers in there. I've gone with the recommended ones, and I'm just testing them out with these bars just to see if I'll stick with those or whether I'll change them. If you've ever thought about getting a suspension stem, I have to say it's made a huge difference. I used to get really bad pins and needles. That's all completely eliminated. Having switched to that, it's made a big difference. Got a Chris King headset, which I've had no issues with since I fitted it on the bike. Super smooth. The Camino comes with these standard forks, which have got the mounting points on for some racks on the, I've obviously got those on there, and they're the tail fin ones, the cargo ones. Haven't actually used them yet, but they are very well made. Really impressed with those, and they're not overly expensive, so pretty happy with those. I've recently fitted these RockShox, not RockShox, what are they called? What are they called? I've forgotten. Comments below, can't remember what they're called. Speed Rock, something like that. But I've been off-road, and nothing too dramatic, but they actually were brilliant. They kept me so clean and dry, and also they just stopped so much crap getting onto the bike. So happy, really happy with those. Obviously this is the Eagle crank set on there. I don't know if you can see in there, I've got some Sea Bear dub bottom bracket with the ceramic bearings in. They are super smooth. They're not smooth as in like you whiz your wheels round for ages and ages, but I get no noise or squeaks. And on the dub bottom bracket, the normal SRAM one. They're very plasticky. I didn't do that many miles, but got through 2 sets of them off-road in wet conditions and that fairly quickly. So I'll be interested to see how these do, but so far so good. They've been brilliant, easy to fit, obviously threaded bottom bracket on here, and yeah, be very, very interested to see how long they last. They weren't overly expensive, and I would thoroughly recommend them on the short time that I've had them. They are brilliant. Right, by the way, I just want to say I bought all of these things with the exception of the saddle, which I will speak to you about in a little bit. All of these things I purchased with my own money, and it's just what I've researched and found. I mean, the Sonder bikes are just brilliant value for money. There has, like with lots of bicycle bits, been a long delay on lots of parts, so be prepared if you are interested in getting anything bike orientated at the moment. If it's something that's popular, good value for money, and a lot of people are after it, you may well have to wait for a while. Take those Surly corner bars. I would like to swap those for the 46s. This is the 50 centimeter version that I've got, but there are none in the UK until June, so it's a long wait before I can get to try those. Ideally I'd like to try them sooner, but I can't see how that will happen unless any of you out there have a 46 and you actually want some 50s. If so, get in touch, we can do something. Right, back to the bike. Couple of side mounting bottle cages on there. I've got a couple of strap points there where I can put a bigger bottle on the bottom for bike packing. As I say, this whole setup is ready to roll out for bike packing when the weather improves a bit in the UK and I'm a little bit fitter, recovering from all the issues. Currently running the Pathfinder Pros, which I really like. I've, as I say, only done a few short miles off-road and whatever, but they feel very fast on the road. Had no punctures. I am running tubeless, and I have to say they're brilliant. Cornering in sort of gravelly little bit of slop, they've done very well. Haven't had any slide outs at all. And just in case someone is bound to ask, I've got this little stand which I made and built myself. Found a little bracket. I think it's off of an old rack. I think it was a rack point. Bent that up, stuck that in there, and then basically this is an old tent peg which I put a rubber foot on that I think's from a walking stick or something, and that's not permanently on there. Let me just show you how this works. So basically that is just a long bolt, and then obviously you've got the top of the tent peg, and that I just bung in my saddle bag, and then if I need to stand my bike out, I just pop that on there, and then there it is. Obviously useful for photographing your bike if you don't want to prop it up against something. Right, moving on. The rack. It was a second-hand titanium tubus rack that I picked up off eBay for less than 100 quid, which I think there are a couple of hundred new, so I was very happy managing to get that. And my plan will be, I have got some panniers. They're actually some front panniers because they're a bit smaller, which I can pop on the back, which are lightweight. They're one option for bike packing depending on how long I'm going for or how much I want to take. The other option is just to strap onto here, and just I've got a roll bag and I'll just put the clip round here and then either just bungee that on, or I've got some straps that I can use. So finally, well, not finally, let's just quickly mention these pedals. I don't go clipless. I have ridden clipless loads and loads. I have found that I much prefer the wider platform and just the simplicity of being able to ride whatever shoe I want. And these are the Bergtech Mark 5s. Haven't had to maintain them, and they give really good grip even off-road. The saddle. It is an Infinity saddle. Now, I don't really know where to begin with that really. I've had lots of issues and probably 15 or 20 different saddles. Probably had 3 or 4, let me talk to you. 3 or 4 bike fits over the years, different saddles, pressure mapping. Always seemed to be pretty much in the right spot from a pressure mapping point of view. Always had issues, not with saddle sores or anything like that, but just being uncomfortable after a relatively short period of time, say 50-60 miles. I had some success with a short nose saddle, but not a great deal. Then I read about a lot of endurance riders, let's go back to the saddle, riding this Infinity saddle. They do several different versions, some with a cutout where this material is here, it's actually open. This one with the enclosed material just gives your bum a bit more protection if you're off-road, on the road and it's wet. Obviously the rain spray, if you didn't have mudguards on, would come through and get your bum very wet. So this version counteracts that by having this very squidgy material to cover that. It doesn't look like it will be comfortable, and there is a certain amount of fine tweaking to get it exactly right, but it's been a complete revelation. They're not cheap, but if I weigh up how much I've probably lost buying 15 or so saddles over the years, it's probably less than the outlay for the bike. Now, I did get in contact with Dr. Vince, and we had a long discussion. He did a bit of a video call with me, had a look at me on the bike, and then was kind enough to send me a saddle. Well, that's a couple of years ago now. I have got a discount code which I'll put down below, and if you like this and you want to see any more or want to ask any questions, please like and subscribe, that'll be great. I'll put a link below. You can get a bit of a discount using my code if you are interested in one, or if you want to know a bit more about how I've got on with the saddle, please contact me. But it has been a complete revelation. I can ride mile after mile after mile and have no issues on the saddle at all. As I say, it took some fine tweaking to get it exactly where I want, but I can't see that I would be ever riding any other saddle. When your bum is comfy on your saddle, it is a complete revelation. They say the 3 contact points are the most important thing: your pedals, your saddle and your handlebars. Getting that balance where you are, and I think I have now found it. I think that was the final key. I know the corner bars are new, and I certainly like the narrower ones, but they're a good compromise between a drop bar and a straight bar. Lots of riding positions on it, and I'll do another review on those when I get the 46s and see how I have enjoyed swapping them over. Enjoyed swapping them over? Maybe not enjoyed swapping them over. I will see what the differences are between the 46 and the 50. I think the 50s are just a little, I'm not as broad as some, and I think the 50s are just a little bit too wide for me. Some people like quite wide handlebars. I certainly prefer the slightly narrow ones. Anyway, much more talking than I was intending. This was supposed to be just quick. If you've got any questions, please contact me, please comment. I'll try and reply to as many as I can. And like I always say, I've got some of the gear and I've got some idea. So until next time, thanks for watching.